6. We have made ourselves subaqueous sand dunes, and sand dunes, you say, are the gardens of divinity, since there is not even the trace of a footprint for the wind to efface and the desert to devour. 7. In the hissing cauldron of noonday angst, each hour and each minute is listlessly spent among a background pantomime of attentive significance, among all the rudiments of banality, of precondition, of condescension and carelessness, of what amounts to bare activity. Something to do, something to say, something I chose not to do, something I prefer not to say. In some remote region, there are organisms that dare not live, composed as they are of all the impassivity of stellar dust and strange geometries. 8. Let me cloud over every emerging thought, and let every task become muddied and slough off like so much dead skin. Let black clouds of frustration engulf everything that is not necessary, and then let it obliterate all necessity. Let each thought that deludes itself burst forth into a bouquet of crystalline boils and ulcerations. Let each thought that wants to greedily raise itself up abscess and drown with all the fungal rapidity of lush, overgrown ruins. In the midst of this black joy, let nothing escape, except, perhaps, a hesitant, hushed, badly written De Profundis, etched in black granite in a region of remote space, as remote as you or I feel from a world deserving only of contempt, of this joy. 9. We awake each morning to be inundated by myriad gestures of insignificance. All of this, the lethargy of existence, the burden of our brains, the blemish of consciousness. We will go on enjoying our suffering on display, and enjoying our further suffering when it is not on display, all the while watching each other emote and gesture, and watch with sunken eyes. All the while, I cower in fear, unsure if this is how one emotes and gestures and watches. Is this how it's done? And how is it I am still so naive? 10. In the listless, tepid moments of waiting to do all the things I'd rather not do, all thoughts seem to be nothing but consolation, and whatever it is that levitates windlessly above each carefully drawn circle can only come from the slow frenetic thronging of black nymphes. Often I tried to lift myself, only to plunge the deeper. In the meantime, I go on, and you go on, and we wallow excitedly in the moss-ridden mire of so many delusions. All other efforts that we surely should have tried, all austerities, all devout, unceasing, and earnest appeals, they themselves become nothing more than secret admonitions. We wished that our life would not be separate from a kind of prayer. A luminescent book of black hours, blackly written with all the delicacies of whispers and murmurs, born out of affectation and disaffection, delivered with all the hushed intonations of impersonality. And after all this, it seemed we were still left to twist and turn in the dark.